Welcome to Sumbits, where we decode the PowerSchool development experience. Sumbits is brought to you by MBA. Let's start the show.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Sumbits. As you can tell, we're joined by some lovely friends. We are obviously joined by Ryan and Eric. Another episode of Sumbits here. We are joining you today from Myrtle Beach. We're actually down here for the PSUG Southeast Conference, but more specifically, ACME just occurred over the last couple of days. So we figured, hey, why not bring the ACME folks together and do a little episode of Sumbits. I know I typically lead these things, but Ryan was a lot more involved in ACME this year than I was, so he's going to be leading the charge today.
I don't know why we made that decision. It was probably not the greatest idea, but okay, yeah, no, we had a great old time here this weekend. I mean, I'd almost call it ACME on AI, at least on my side.
That's good. I didn't want to cheer anyway.
Oh, well, hey, yeah. and I mean, hey, welcome back to the the fun drinks for ACME for this episode.
Yeah, kind of old school format.
Yeah,
I'm having some Jameson today.
Yeah,
what are you guys sipping on?
Well, I am. We had the PSUG reception, and my ticket afforded me some type of whiskey mixed with Coca-Cola, and that's all I can say is it's tasty and I'm enjoying it. How about you there, Eric?
I gotta say, I love me some microbrews. I'm a Wisconsin boy. I love all that stuff.
Drinking a Coors.
But there ain't nothing wrong with Rocky Mountain High. I'm just saying.
Amen. Chin chin.
Yeah.
There's always something good about it.
My friend Russ back here, Stacy, if you're watching, Russ is here.
He's been here every day, every hour. A major contributor to the whole conference.
Thank you.
And that was his first Coors Light. Everything up to now has been Diet Pepsi.
And that's how an empty can. There's nothing.
No, I mean, there's been Diet Pepsi and water because he wanted to balance it out.
Hydration's key.
Yeah.
Does anybody else need to make their presence known? Make sure their bosses know that they're here.
I would like my boss to know that I'm here.
That's Scott Bestpotter of Point Here Media. He's got a bit of a tough customer for a boss. Yeah.
But he's Canadian, so moving on.
I get paid in US dollars.
So I know we've talked about ACME before, but maybe as a quick reminder for anybody that doesn't know what ACME is. Eric, you've kind of been leading the show in ACME world for quite a while.
Yeah, so the whole idea of ACME is, well, where's Joe Miller? Joe Miller's not in the room, but thank you to Joe Miller. He's not here right now. He really wanted to do, because he's been putting on the regional and national PSUG events for so long. He really wanted to do something that was more intimate, if you will, more intimate, and for the advanced customizers and developers in the PowerSchool world. And he said, let's put something on, and we came together and we decided that it was going to be called ACME.
8 years ago, by the way.
Was it 8?
It's 8 years. We've been going on this for 8 years.
Was it 8 years ago?
In this place.
It all started, and he's not in the room either, unfortunately, with basically a rivalry between myself and Adam Larson. I'm sorry, Adam Schmarson, he who shall not be named.
Which is not in the room, unfortunately, either.
Right.
He was here.
But there's always been this battle of egos between myself and Adam, and somehow, no matter how many times I try to put that man in his place, I just wind up at the bottom of the canyon like Wile E. Coyote. And so he is the Roadrunner, I'm Wile E. Coyote, and that's just kind of become a theme for the uber nerds of the PowerSchool world. So we decided to call ourselves ACME. And it fit in really well. Advanced customizations made for everyone is what we decided on. My recommendation was Adam's customizations mimic excrement, but I was overridden. So advanced customizations made for everyone. That's what ACME stands for.
I thought it was a valid title. Not a reflection of the developer, but it had that comic levity.
I enjoyed it, but I was vetoed on that. And ACME Advanced Customizations made for everyone. So we've been meeting for 8 years. I think we might have missed a year, just a year for COVID.
Like COVID, yeah.
Was it missed? I know I couldn't make it because, yeah, there was all kinds of tests you'd have to do at the border.
Right. But the goal of this was, per Joe's vision, and per everybody's vision as we came together, to like just get the biggest nerds in the PowerSchool world in the same room to collaborate and say, hey, let's build something. And Joe's demands, if we're going to do this, were like, I would love for you guys to collaborate, to learn from each other, to hopefully try to build something. But nothing can ever be for profit. Anything that has been developed by the ACME group is made available to the PowerSchool community free of charge.
It's by the people, for the people.
By the people, for the people.
Has anybody in this room been going to ACME that entire time?
Yeah.
Well, since the
We
beginning.
got Mike Grishevsky back
Who-
here.
who
This
is
man's
here?
been here forever
Let's see.
today.
Who is here from ACME, the first one?
For sure.
Oh,
I
gosh.
don't remember, what year?
2018.
It was here. It was here.
Yeah, it was here.
And was here in Myrtle Beach. Did we mention that we're in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina right now?
This is the home of the rear outer joint.
I missed the first half so far. I'll pay attention henceforth. No worries.
All good.
So yeah, we got together 8 years ago, and the idea was we're going to try to learn from one another, but we're also going to try to produce something. We're going to try to build something and share it with the community, and it can never be for profit.
I think that before we start getting into what you guys were working on this year, what are some of those, products and plugins that you guys already have out through ACME?
Yes. Oh gosh, now you're going to ask me to remember.
Well, that's what I wanted to
we
know
have
as
some
well.
help.
Because this isn't Diet Pepsi. Let's talk about what we have out there so far, and you can fill in the gaps. We've got a whole room full of ACME folks that can help fill in the gaps.
Are we talking about what we've done over the years?
What's
or what we
already
What's already out there?
available? What's available on easyregpro.com/acme.php? I'm sure we can get that link somewhere.
Super
right?
easy you are.
I'm looking at the producer. Make it
Just-
happen.
Click on that link right here.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. It'll be in the description. It'll be in the description.
We have the test score display. Big thank you to both Roger Sprick and in the room. Can you raise your hand? Where are you, buddy? Oh, he's right behind me, Jim Parsons. We've got Jim Parsons in the room. They were kind enough to donate work that they had done on test score display. Just an easier way to view student test scores. If you're curious about more details in that, check out ACME, the ACME site that we just talked about.
Link right here.
Right here.
Down in the description.
Okay, what else do we have? We've got like
Yeah,
8 of them out there now. Oh, enhanced activities, a more robust way to track student activities.
I like the
And
way you
even-
say robust.
Robust. Also maintains a history of student activities as opposed to just check on, check off. Then we have from Adam Larson, who isn't here
Well, I
unfortunately.
heard back from Joe so far. He says he might be here in 15 minutes.
All right, we make it say hi to Joe Miller. Adam put together a Python library. I know absolutely nothing about this, so maybe we'll have to comment on this later to correct any missteps I take. But we've got a whole room full of people that can shout out if I say something wrong as well. A Python library for interacting with the PowerSchool API, just to basically obfuscate a lot of the technical nonsense and make it easier for Python developers to work with the PowerSchool API. What am I forgetting? What else do we have there? We want to get to ACME tools, but not yet. That's newer.
Right.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's newer. I think it was the same, wasn't it?
For a segue. Okay, so we may have forgotten something, but you guys can check out the site again.
Those were the 3 originating ones.
The other big one that came out, I believe last year was the first year that it was out.
That it was released.
Yeah.
It's been a work
was
in progress.
ACME, what's it called?
ACME tools.
ACME tools. And I know there were a number of projects worked on during ACME this year, but I know ACME tools was one, and it was kind of originally built in a way to where you can add additional tools each year, right?
We built it with scalability in mind.
Perfect. Do you want to talk about what already existed in it before we get into kind of what you guys added to it this year?
I'll try to remember. And I mean, you know what? It's worth throwing out too, because I can't not mention the great Adrian Carlson, who really originated that idea in the first place. Because going into ACME 2 years ago, he said, "Hey, wouldn't it be great if I don't know if we mentioned the original plugin? Wouldn't it be great if we made a new version of this?" Because this was in disrepair, and then we didn't want to, usurp anybody, so we decided to make something new with new tools. So whatever this was became ACME tools, and the whole point was, yes, let's make a suite of reports and that's it. Reports to help our users figure out their data, analyze their data, diagnose their data, and go from there. When we got together, we decided, hey, let's build this in a way, because ACME has had a history of always being able to release something at the end of a session. And we wanted to continue that. So we decided, hey, if we build something like ACME Tools, we'll always be able to add something onto it. And so ACME Tools started out as, let's build this framework and build these reports. So the original 5 that we started on the first year, so 3 years ago, were for page permissions by user, plugin security, user roles. Please help me, audience.
Field level security.
Field level security.
You see a plugin?
I think I said
Yes.
plugin.
That was in there.
There was a 5th one. And they were great. And you know what? We heard a lot of good feedback. And so coming into this ACME, we wanted to continue building on that. Because again, that was the point. What was really awesome was this ACME, and kind of proving the point of how, we built this. The group of developers that worked on it the first 2 years was not the group of developers that worked on it this year. So we built it in a way that, hey, we could, build onto it, regardless of the group who was doing it. And also, as no one in this room is surprised to hear, I leveraged AI a lot to develop with it, and had a lot of fun doing it too. This year, hopefully by the time people are watching this, you're going to see that we've added 3 new reports. One is a co-teachers report, just to see a list of. We made the decision to call it a teachers assignments report, because it was not just co-teachers, but it'll show you all teachers associated with the section. A secondary report for Power Queries, where it will list all Power Queries in your system, parse them out, let you see all the components and all the attributes of any Power Query and search within them. And then a customization or file customization audit tool that lets you see all the customization or all the custom files in CPM, all the content history, breaking them out, letting you diff them. I really can't do it justice without showing you, but you'll see it, and it's pretty darn nifty.
So as with most of those, it's a lot harder to describe than just see them, use them, and see the power in them.
I feel like that should be on a sales flyer.
It's pretty darn nifty.
It's pretty darn.
So who in this room was in that room working on the ACME tools?
So we got to get. Oh, yep, we got to give some shouts out. Let's let them say hi.
Oh, hi.
My name is.
My name is Russ Cummings.
Who else is working with us on the ACME tools?
I'm Kathy Ramey. Dawn Russo.
And Dawn Russo.
One thing we didn't ask earlier is was this anybody's first ACME that's here right now?
This is my first, and I'm inclined to come back. Who's gonna be their last actor?
Mike.
Where's Mike? Mike's gonna keep coming back no matter what. We will sponsor him if we have to.
They'll just have a different employer.
You know what?
Can I actually,
I know a couple companies probably.
I hope he doesn't get mad at me, but I want to send a shout out to a man who's contributed a lot to the PowerSchool community and to ACME over the last several years. The man's name is Mike Krzyzewski, and I think he's sitting in the corner off camera. He has just been a gem. He's one of the most intelligent yet most humble people that I've ever met in my entire life, and I mean that sincerely, Mike. As some of you may know, Mike is from North Dakota, and North Dakota has recently decided that they're going to move to Infinite Campus. But Mike is still here hanging out with us because he is a soldier, and we're just so happy to have him with us. He's done a lot for the whole community and for ACME over the last several years.
I can credit Mike just for my inspiration in getting into AI the way I have, from what he demonstrated to us at last ACME.
So that was last year, right?
Well, you
100%.
accept Canadian dollars for a paycheck. I can do an adjustment if
Loonies and toonies only. Well, thanks for that, like, little quick update on ACME tools. So again, I kind of mentioned there was 3 different groups working on different projects. So Ryan was kind of heading up the ACME tools piece. Eric, I believe you were kind of leading up another project.
Yeah, I did. We started something. I love, first of all, just to piggyback off what Ryan was talking about, I love that we decided a few years ago, like we need to kind of focus on something that we can start and we can build upon. And I really love the ACME tools concept in that we were able to get something out, and it was small, and there were 2 or 3 reports in the first year. And every year we come back and we can say, like, what's next? Like, what are we going to build next? What's going to help people? So I think there will be a lot of years in the future that we continue to make that bigger and bigger. But we also decided this year to start on something new, which was a custom selection. It's the ACME custom selection plugin. And this was the brainchild, I believe, of Adam Larson. He said, you know, I'd really love a way to be able to search for students from the home screen. But me, as like an Uber nerd, I want to search with SQL because like the little grade equals 10 is not quite robust enough for me, and I know how to write all the SQLs. So he said, I'd love to build a plugin that would enable a student search from the home screen of PowerSchool and the admin portal of that Power. So we decided to take on that project. And shout out to Scott Bestvader. He had done something kind of similar and let us, and he started us out with some of the code that he'd already written. Scott Bestvader, though not quite as admirable as Mike Krzyzewski, who I was complimenting earlier.
But he's all right.
Don't diss my countrymen.
We're gonna call him the 10 ultimate.
He was kind enough to give us some of the code that he'd already developed and some of the work that he'd done in his consulting, and we started on that. And then we built upon that, created a configuration screen. The idea about the concept behind it is that you have it's not a free-for-all, not every person for themselves, but you have an administrator, someone who understands SQL, that can write those SQL queries. And they know for their district, I might need to make a current selection of students from the home screen of PowerSchool based on some more complex criteria, based on grades, based on log entries or incidents or anything that you can write a query to extract data from the database. So this plugin allows an administrator to write that SQL, create a record saying this is the logic that I want to use to make a current selection. They provided a name. You can categorize them. You can give them a sort order. You can also apply you can apply group security to that. So if you're saying like this is selecting students based on a criteria that I only want visible to security groups or user roles. Or you can limit it by school, and then you can publish that. And from the home screen, there's a new link on the student selection of custom selections. It'll list everything that's available to the end user. They can just click that button and get that student selection based on as complex a criteria as you can put into any SQL query. I think it's going to be a really powerful tool. I think it's got a lot of potential.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see how people use that.
Yeah, I like the piece of that I like is you end up with, additional functionality for your in-district end users. So, I mean, you're still writing all of the SQL behind the scenes, but, presenting that to the users in your district, I think is pretty awesome.
I think it's awesome too. Glad I thought of it.
No.
Since he's not in the room, I'm glad I thought of it.
Do we have anyone here that can directly speak for the PTP?
Well, while we're figuring out who's going to talk about the third project. So for the people that are first time to, I'm going to shift a little bit before we get to that third plugin. For the people that were new, obviously the goal of ACME is to end up with, kind of a plugin or something that other users can use. But this is very much still a training scenario, right? So for the people that aren't leading the projects, it's still a high goal for the attendees to learn something. Does anybody want to offer something that they did actually pick up and learn while they were here? Whether it was your first time or not? No? Cool. Thanks.
Well, I don't know. Russ was thinking.
Brian is very convincing in his argument about using AI in our development. So I think that's the thing I'm going to take back is we're going to start using a lot more AI in the development process.
At least having the conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And not just because Ryan told you he thinks you should use AI, but because you watched him develop with AI.
Ryan demonstrated in a very incremental fashion. Like when we started some of the project, it was now watch it do this small step and watch it do this small step. And each time it got a little bit bigger. And then by the time that we get to the end of the project, and I'll just be full disclosure here, I'm the one who walked in the morning and went, those other guys have been working really hard. We don't have a lot going on over here.
And he's talking about us.
And we just kind of been like philosophizing over here about AI. And Ryan goes, well, you know what? Let's just take this thing and see what it does. And he gives it a project that he had worked on a year ago or
3 or 4 years ago.
3 or 4 years ago and says, I'm going to give it the parameters. I'm going to give it the guidelines. I'm going to give it this example and tell it, I want another ACME tool. And what it came back with was incredible. I mean, and again, incrementally, Ryan has explained, you got to give the thing some guardrails, you got to give it direction, you got to give it examples, but it was incredibly educational, and what it produced was, I think even he was a little surprised at how good it came out.
I never cease to amaze myself.
Look how great I did.
To be honest, and I say that in the humblest of ways. I don't expect much of myself, but when things happen, they happen, and then I'm like, I can't believe that happened. I mean, I forgot. The one thing I did forget to mention that I did have a thought about with AI and how I use it is early on in ACME, I was introduced into the concept of agile development, where we create we build a skateboard and we put wheels on it. And then we say, okay, now let's take this skateboard and put a handle on it. Now we have a scooter. That is one of the ways I treat AI. is that I try to build things incrementally and deliberately, not try. I mean, I guess with that one, I did totally just try to get the rocket
In all
ship.
fairness, he said, this is gonna be an experiment.
Yeah.
And he just threw the book in.
That one I did try to go from nothing to a rocket ship for sure. But the thing is, I did have the blueprints for a rocket ship already, I guess. But for the most part, yeah, I try to build things deliberately and start with that skateboard, and then okay, great, AI, you just gave me a skateboard. Now let's put that handle on it.
Just out of curiosity, Russ, I mean, obviously you can't experience that without having that first day of philosophizing, I think was your term. How different would that have looked to you if that's what happened day one, first thing?
I don't think it would have been as meaningful. I think you have to walk through, for somebody who doesn't use it daily.
Right.
I think you have to walk through those steps to really appreciate what exactly it is. And to understand some of the nuances of it. I was completely unaware of some of the attributes of the agent, that depending on what agent or model you're using, then you get agent handoffs because you don't want your conversation or your prompts to go so long that it begins wildly hallucinating.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely think you have to, I had to wade into the water to appreciate it.
Fair enough. What about in Eric's project? Anybody pick up on anything, see something new that they hadn't seen before, or maybe a particular piece that you just hadn't really spent a lot of time in? Okay, cool.
I think they all.
It doesn't help when we're all smarter than
That was
Eric.
not a great
Come and tell us how you smarter than Eric, Francisco.
Well, you said that was me. No, I'm talking about his. You had Vance Allen over there. You had Scott over there. They
To
were
be
telling me
fair-
which individual keys to press.
To be fair, I think it's hard to learn in a room with me when you're lost in my eyes.
I mean, in person,
Number
it's a lot
one,
different.
Greenbow.
You just don't get the same vibe over a Teams meeting, I guess.
I thought that I was in the room where it happened. And I thought the conversation around how are we going to select security groups and schools in these situations where you might have a customer that has 1,000, 100,000 schools or something like that. I thought that was really interesting. And that's something I'm definitely going to take back and use, because I work in my own little bubble. But when you're building for a community where there's situations that are not anything like what you're dealing with, have these huge number of schools, I thought those conversations were good.
And in case the mic didn't pick it up from the back of the room, I'm just going to repeat it here. So what the lovely Nick Ferranti was throwing out was essentially, he was interested in the discussion around security and the thoughtfulness around, school level security, school level access, and really, the scope of access around the plugin that Eric's team was developing.
Well, first of all, I'd like to comment that I don't know that the adjective lovely does Nick Ferranti justice. Second of all,
I love these the live episodes because Eric just wants to love everybody.
Can we point out that the lovely Joe Miller just walked in the room?
So appreciative.
No, that's great. No, we just wanted to point out that you did walk in, because we gave you some credit earlier, and now that you're here, we want you to stand up.
Is that Joe?
Joe? Oh, there's a camera up there.
Joe Miller, on the other hand, is not lovely. But back to my point.
Love you, Joe.
Nick, thank you for saying that. Like, we actually have a running joke, and there's even a T-shirt to commemorate the fact that at least once per 5 minutes at ACME, the words "I've never worked at a school district" come out of my mouth.
You've never mentioned this on a podcast before.
I'll say this is the first time we're hearing
Have I
about Sumbits.
Never mentioned this on the podcast.
Are you
before.
being sarcastic?
Yes.
Very sarcastic?
Have I?
Or at least
Several
you say it
times.
every episode.
Well, this is at least my third Diet Pepsi, so.
Coke.
But I get some validation. I get some validation at this point. Ryan Cockroach.
I love you.
I love you back.
I love you, Gap.
Thank you, Nick Perani, for validating me.
I love
Because
you.
as the guy who's always apologizing as a developer, that's like, I'm developing for a school district, but have I ever mentioned this before?
But
I've never been in the trenches.
What?
Like, it's very validating for me to hear somebody else say, like, okay, interesting, but if I am developing, but I want to share this with the community, I have to take a different mindset.
Mhm.
So I actually do have something to offer.
What's that?
You heard it as you're saying it.
I'm just going to drink my Diet Pepsi.
To be fair, he does have something to offer. as much flack as Eric takes, I truly
am
do
the
believe
Acme punching bag. I am the
he's the Acme punching bag, but he's also brilliant and a genius, and has been responsible for a lot of the greatest creations in the PowerSchool community. And I would never ever say otherwise.
How many Diet Cokes have you had?
So you know what? I got always give credit where it's due, and I love my boy here.
I love you back.
Has a brain, will travel.
We
Certified genius.
All the sequels.
and props to Kathy, by the way. Props to Kathy, by the way. You will see it. Don't let me forget. It's gotta go
yeah.
on the website because
Have you
Kathy.
Oh.
Yeah, it was all.
Those will be available
Chap.
in canvas prints on
You know what? I hope so.
whitehairmedia.com.
Hey,
Soon.
no advertising. But Kathy
But that
has
is where
made
they will be.
Hand drawn.
by Scott.
No, I'm stealing her concept and I'm just reproducing it.
Kathy has made the epitome of Acme in a picture for a logo, and I can't wait for everyone to see it.
And we will.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, we're gonna put that bad boy on the easyregpro.com/Acme.
I want to put it everywhere.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get a tattoo on my forehead.
That.
I was thinking something more.
And I'm
Yeah, I don't think that's your forehead, man.
and my left cheek.
I'll get on my right cheek, and then
We gotta change
I
it.
lobbed that one up there, really. So thank you, Kathy. It's beautiful. You'll be seeing it soon.
All right, so back to the third project.
Yeah, we need to talk about the third project,
Yep.
even though I don't know that we have a representative here that
That's why we
worked
can
on
still
that.
just-
Oh, I can. Oh, yeah. Oh, come on.
Yay!
Oh,
I mean,
You know what?
ladies and
You know what?
gentlemen.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
man.
get guest spot. Guest spot.
Yeah, I
He's
can't
the
wait.
future Canadian Employee of the Year.
All
Ladies and gentlemen,
Welcome to the
Mike
table.
Krzyzewski.
Lots of nice things have already been said about you.
He has engineered all of the Acme rockets.
including myself, because isn't that my new nickname?
Seriously, the dude's got an engineering background. I was having a hard time figuring out how a tripod for a portable screen worked the other day. He's like,
So you just pull out the third leg.
no, you don't pull, you push.
Anyway, we'll save Eric from that conversation.
Yeah.
Mike, talk about this.
Yeah, tell us about.
Third project.
Yeah, so this was more of an Adam Larson brainchild to start with, and mainly coming from a teacher coming to him saying, I just deleted this assignment and I need it back. So, gosh, it was Orlando. I don't know how many years ago it was. It was probably 4 or 5 ACMEs ago where we started digging into Oracle flashbacks and trying to figure out a way to basically have a assignment recovery tool that a teacher could use. Come to this current, last ACME in Vegas, and basically we had almost a UI ready to go. As of this ACME, we have a UI ready to publish where a teacher can restore an assignment score for a student, including the score, the flags, comments, at any point in time that's available in the flashback.
I remember last year at ACME Vegas, I was convinced you guys were trying to make butter because I heard churn happen. Like just the word churn came up all the time. It was just churn, churn, churn. What is churn?
Yeah, I think it's worth kind of diving into that, because when you start talking about flashback, you know, I think some people may immediately just think of point in time recovery.
Yeah.
And we all know, like, hopefully not everybody knows what that process is, but hopefully you didn't need it. But if you ever have been in that scenario, that's moving everything back to a point in time, where this is kind of using some of that functionality, but not everything, right?
Yeah, it gets down to
also, as you're covering the topics they wanted you to, you mentioned Oracle. What is that?
So that's a database backend that PowerSchool uses.
I'm sorry,
Yes.
please proceed.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's fancy.
The Oracle looks into the future, not into the past,
Okay.
right?
So churn.
Churn, back to churn.
We were having an intelligent conversation. I'm so sorry.
Well, we have to get sidetracked once in a while.
Derail.
This is content.
So as more data enters into the database, more data leaves out of the flashback. So it's kind of a moving target. And if you have a really busy day, like you're taking grades at the end of the semester or the end of the quarters, you may age out in 5 or 10 minutes, whereas maybe around in between start of school and midterm, you could have an hour, 2 hours, 4 hours a day. So this is, at the moment, it's more of an instant recovery tool. Like you deleted that assignment and you really need to get it back. We are looking at options for potential for future where it would be a bit more of a stored flashback that we could go back to. It's an interesting concept that we've enjoyed working on. Adam Larson, Tejas Ambani, Corey Hilliard have been instrumental in designing a lot of the back end for it and the front end as well. So it's been an exciting project and a really interesting one, more of a research project that ends up being released.
Yeah. So is that flashback capability, is that part of Oracle?
Yes, it is a core capability of Oracle, I believe based on transaction logs.
Gotcha. Very cool.
Very cool.
Well,
I mean, anyone who's worked in a district, I mean, Eric wouldn't know, but anyone who's worked in a district would know how real of a situation that is.
Right.
I just had to do it.
I know. I honestly, I know I've said it 1,000 times at ACME. I did not know that I've said it at least 5 times.
We even know where you got the shirt from. We've heard all those stories.
Have we said Rami Backus? Hi, Rami. We missed you this week.
We missed you,
Rami. Rami
yes.
wasn't able to join us.
Hearts for Rami. Is that a heart? There we go. That's something like a heart.
Who in this room worked on that project? Just
Nobody.
Oh,
Gotcha. So, yeah, everybody else on that team got tired and went to bed already. No, that's fair enough.
All right, now for the next segment of Sumbits, where we do a dance party.
I'm out.
No, this is why we trapped you between Ryan and myself when we invited you up.
The good old Shiloh Cochran sandwich.
Better than the other option.
What's the other option?
I do see one guy in the audience back there. I don't think we've mentioned his name yet. Eric.
Oh, yeah,
Millie.
Oh, yeah.
oh, you weren't asking me. Who
No, I wasn't.
You no longer have a talking stick.
Well, I mean, yes, there's three of us who are at the front of the various rooms for ACME. But there's also one man who has been instrumental in organizing and managing and keeping us in line, and that would be Eric Militich.
Thank God he did that, 'cause he
Bucket man.
All right, guys. I think that's about through all of the topics we wanted to get through. Anything else in this room that y'all wanted to talk about since you have a little camera time? All right, cool. I would like to do a little cheers for everybody in here. I appreciate you guys being in the room, helping us do this thing. Cheers to ACME, guys.
Here's the friend.
Yeah.
Done it
Yeah.
without land.
Sean, anybody wants views this video and wants a discount on the PSUG Vegas, do Sumbits 26, capital S.
All right, we got to get to our dance party. Everybody have a good night.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
See you next time.
Thanks for joining us, and a special thanks to our subscribers. Consider becoming one today. Enjoy more episodes and learn more at mba-link.com.